Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Spartan Toy Hunter and this is the kit bashing of Cobra Officer and Vulcan. So I wanted to show you how these two can actually work, how we can actually put body parts onto one and the other. So I'm boiling some water right now, so I'm going to start by breaking these apart. So I'm going to be right back and I'm going to take care of that and show you some fine details that I found out about this. Alright, here we have everything disassembled. This is something I wanted to point out. In this new body mold of Vulcan, the new thing is that they've made this part of the hip that connects to the socket here rubbery. So when you heat this up, it'll actually pop out of the socket without having to break this apart and actually super glue it back together. So this right here opened up a lot of avenues of kit bashing, swapping body parts. So one of the things I want to do is I want to take a look at the dissection of the Cobra Officer there. So some of you may know this already, but some of you may not. But the G.I. Joe characters do have the part of the pants that actually comes off right there. Let's see if it focuses. Right there. So this, I call it the diaper, but we're going to go ahead and put it onto here. I may have to heat this up. This hip is a little bit bigger than the other one, so let me go ahead and put this in the hot water real quick and soften it up, and I'll show you the end result of that. So here it is. I was able to put it on the Vulcan body mold right here. So now, let me see if I can readjust this. I want to make sure that all the red is covered up. And I guess it's going to show just a little bit here. So if you wanted to, you can shave that down so it actually fits the diaper. So, alright, so I'm going to heat up the legs of the Cobra Officer and see if it fits on here. So, be right back. Alright, and there you have it. The legs popped in and can be used. They're working just fine. Bending, extending. They're still a little rubbery from the hot water, but there it is. Now, of course, there's the spots here that show up red. So there's two solutions that I can think of: shaving it down, or you can actually dye this completely black and it might be able to cover it up. But I think, let me see if this just needs to be lowered down a little. Yeah, kind of. It was a little bit of a solution, but not much. Okay, so there we go. Now, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead. There is something else I would like you guys to check out. Now, this part of the arm, I actually trimmed down because this little piece right here had a little extension. And because of that, it made Vulcan's butterflies very limited. So by being able, let me see if I have something like an example here. I wish I could have filmed that, but time was of the essence here. So let me see if there's something here that I can use. The best example that I have right now is the Cobra Commander arm right here. And so I think, yeah, you can see that fully extended little knob right there. Now what I did to both of them, even the Cobra, is I actually shortened it. I cut it off, and by doing that, it actually made the butterflies work better because they weren't rubbing against anything inside of the torso area. So I think I'm going to let's compare the arms. So we have the Vulcan arm is much more muscular. And so I think I'm going to go with the Vulcan arms here. So I'm going to heat it up, put in the torso, soften up the butterflies and try to pop these in. Be right back. And there we have it. Take a look at the bigger butterfly joints that can move much better than before. I may do a little tutorial. This is not the only Vulcan body that I bought. When Target has a sale for $7.99, just can't pass up on like a body mold like this with all the possibilities and the kit bashing and customs that you can do with this. So I'll put a link in the description below of some people that have actually had some videos. There are some pretty good ones, so if I remember them, I'll be sure to put them on there for you. And I'll definitely put them into the links below. So there it is there. I popped in the head onto, come on baby, there we go. Now you have yourself a very militarized Vulcan here. So another thing I want to show you is that, let's take a look at the hands here. Let's take a look and see if the pegs, what they look like compared to the, so this is a trigger hand. This is the trigger of, hold on a second, let me get a better light there. This is the trigger hand of the Cobra officer, and this is the fisted hand of Vulcan here. So the knobs are very similar. See if I can put that someplace where you can see that. That's it. So they're very, so they have a similar feature, which means that if I were to put this onto Vulcan, fits. So now he has a trigger hand. I'm going to put the other one on there. There we go. So now Vulcan can use the Cobra officer's hands for gun holding. Let's actually grab one. There you go. Look at that. So now you got yourself, this actually could have been a very good Tomas and yeah, the twins. I think this could have been, I always forget the other one. I cannot pronounce it correctly. And was it Zamos? Anyways, so there it is right there. So take a look. So that's part one of that right there. So now we have this vest here. Now this vest, I would recommend using this one. And we're going to also put the belt on. So we have both of these that we're going to be putting onto that one. So I'm going to heat it up, and I got to take the arms off again and maybe pop off the legs. So I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, after coming back from his lava bath, I was able to put the vest and I was able to put the belt on. The only tricky thing is that you have to heat it up so that it goes around the diaper, because it actually, if you move it around too much, it might actually, you have to cool it down really fast so it kind of really gets stuck into that diaper so it doesn't move around a lot, because once it slips out, it's kind of, you're going to have to use a spoon or something to scoop it back in there. So there you go. So now what would this look like if we put the head of the Cobra Trooper in there? So let's just take a look. Let's see if this works. If it needs to be heated up. Now, their necks kind of work a little differently. So his sinks into the neck a little bit deeper. Let's see if I can put a little bit of light on that. Okay, right there. So yeah, it goes in a little bit deeper, so it's a little harder to, it would turn, but it doesn't turn by much. Oh, actually, no, it does turn. Never mind. So there we go. So we have this. Let's Let's have him hold a weapon here. Grab one. All right, so that's it right there. See if I can get a white sheet of paper so you can see a better look at him. So hopefully this is bright enough right here. So there it is right there. He's holding his weapon. It looks pretty good. I mean, it looks really good. So now this is a stockier, more muscular action figure here. So it's a little bit different than, you know, the traditional, kind of like semi-muscular. So this is Marvel muscular here. So if you wanted to, you can just kind of, I think this is, yeah, so this is a black base head, of course, eyes and everything painted. If you wanted to, you can actually remove the blue to make this an all black. So if you wanted to, you can make this into a shield agent of some type. And but if not, you can also make him into a Cobra. So the good news is that the helmet does fit. So, yep, there it is right there. Looking good. And it's not your imagination. I did remove some of the silver on both of these. This is for another project I'm working on. So, very nice. So, now we have ourselves, yeah, so you have different options here. So you have this head that you can use along with this Cobra head that fits onto here as well. So, or if you want, you can just turn it into a just kind of an all black mask. So, nicely done. I wanted to show a side-by-side comparison of the two figures here. So this is what they look like. There is a drawback. I will not be able to put this holster that the machine gun goes into onto this figure. So it'll have to be something that wraps around the torso there. So, oops, sorry. Okay. Let me adjust that. Okay. So now, there we go. So now you have yourself a good look at a kit bashing right there. So let's see if it works the other way. So if we can get the body mold of this one to fit some of the parts. So let's try that out. So now putting Vulcan's legs on the Cobra Trooper may not work quite as well. So a couple of things that are happening. The legs are bulging out. So when you take this out, it's still kind of warm. So this part of the peg is so long that when you put this in, kind of, you can see too much space in between the torso, the little peg there, and the leg connection, and it just looks a little bit too big and too out of place. So this is bound to happen when it comes to figures. One will fit the other while the other one doesn't quite fit that one. So I'm sure the arms might be able to do something for these arms, but the torso may not match. You may have to keep the vest on. So, all right. Now there is one more thing I would like to try out. I want to see if the boots are interchangeable. Let's see what happens there. So these boot swaps did not work. Let me see if I can bring it up a little bit closer. Much wider, much thinner there. So this could not quite fit the way that we wanted it to. And let's take a side view here. So the shapes were completely different, much wider. This one's a different shape in itself. So placing the boot on this side wouldn't even catch on, didn't even stick. This one wouldn't even fit onto that one. So, question answered. That was a nice try. Now you know. All right, let's see if there's anything else we need to cover. Oh, just quickly, since I have it here, so this, yep, would not catch. Just wanted to show you. All right, be right back. Also wanted to show you what it looked like with the different Joe's head. So this is, got Duke here. It's a little tough. If you're just going to be kind of a vanilla pose, then yeah, that'll work, but it doesn't quite. It's easy on. It's the shape of it is much like smaller on the inside than it is on the actual ball point. So the only reason why it's going in quite as deep, and let me see how far can it go. So that's a little bit too low on the neck there. So you'd have to play around with that a little bit. But this could be definitely a different trooper in itself, or a different Joe, or Duke in disguise in his seal. Looks like a scuba, but yeah. All right, so let's put that head back in there. So, all right, that's about all I have for this. If I come up with anything else, I'll be sure to put it in a video and show you guys. So hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully you'll get to see different kit bashing, or if this brings some ideas to you. Now there is something else. This is something I got from Flint. I was able to cut it out and actually put it onto this. The only problem is this belt would not work with it, because it would actually constrict and actually surround it so much that I had a hard time getting the gun out of the holster. So this one fits when you have a holster down by the leg right here on the thigh, on the upper thigh there. So if you ever wanted to try that, yeah, you know it'll work. You just have to place the gun in a different part of the leg. So, all right, yeah, running out of ideas here. So if I do find anything else, or I start to do other kit bashing, I will let you guys know. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope you got something out of this. So if you like what you saw, please click the like button, leave a comment, good or bad. I'm open to constructive criticism. And check out my Instagram page at Spartan Toy Hunter, Spartan_toy_hunter. I'll leave a link down below. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next project.